How's it going, everyone? So many of you, myself included, are excited for the State of Play event tomorrow. It is just a State of Play, but we do know it's going to be 40 minutes, which is relatively lengthy. We've seen State of Plays as short as 20 to 25 minutes, so this one being 40 minutes, pretty lengthy. We know that there's going to be PS5 and PSVR 2 titles that are scheduled for 2024 and beyond, so some of the games will be after 2024, 2025 releases, so on and so forth. A lot of rumblings, a lot of rumors, 2 titles already confirmed. This is just a State of Play and not a showcase, but again, with the length, with the fact that it is noted over 15 games are going to be showcased, we are going to have a lot to sink our teeth into, and I want to go over 10 titles that are rumored and confirmed to be there, so let's get right into it. Let's start off with the 2 titles that have been confirmed real quick. We have Stellar Blade, which I am really hoping that we get a release date for the game. I don't foresee it being in the first half of 2024, but maybe it'll creep in there given the fact that this game was scheduled for 2023. The game, from a visual standpoint, looks great. Just need to see some more gameplay, live gameplay of it as well, and I think that's going to be one that people are obviously going to be excited for. And then we're also going to see some more of Rise of the Ronin, which love the setting of Rise of the Ronin, just need to see more gameplay of that, and that game is right around the corner, releasing on March 22nd. Don't love the release date because it's the same day as Dragon's Dogma 2, and as big as Rise of the Ronin is going to be, I think Dogma 2 is just going to be a little bit bigger, and at the end of the day, those are 2 massive open-world action RPGs that are going to be sizable experiences. I just don't think a lot of people are going to want to juggle both, but still incredibly excited for Rise of the Ronin, coming from Team Ninja, an incredibly talented studio that brought you the Nioh games. However, with Rise of the Ronin, it is going to offer accessibility options. There are difficulty options, so if you do want an easier experience where you just take in the world, the setting, and the story, that is going to be available to you as well, so don't worry too much about that. After that, let's go over some of the games that are being rumored. Right off the top, rumblings of a Sonic Generations remaster are going on, and it is being rumored that it's going to be titled Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now, Shadow's inclusion in this remaster, I think, does add a interesting wrinkle to it, and Sonic Generations is a fantastic game, and I don't know if this is going to be an entirely new game, probably more of a remaster with some added elements to it, but Sonic Generations, as I mentioned, was absolutely fantastic, and it's one of those games that is relegated to that PlayStation 360 era, so getting a remaster, potentially adding new content, incredibly exciting, and I feel like Sonic as a whole has been doing very well. Obviously, the Sonic movies have done very well. Sonic Frontiers was really well received, and Sonic Superstars, while, you know, it had a little bit of pushback on the $59.99 price point for sure, that was a decent game as well, and for a long time, we were getting lackluster Sonic games pretty regularly, and getting a Sonic Generations remaster potentially with some added content could be exciting. Next up, it is rumored that we're going to see Concord at this event. I've been pretty open about my opinions of Concord. Look, I think this game had one of the worst reveals in gaming history for a new IP. That reveal at the PlayStation Showcase, especially as bad as that entire event was, Concord's reveal trailer just was so mind-numbingly stupid in the sense that we don't know anything about this game outside of the fact that it's a multiplayer live service title, which is already going to turn some people off, especially that core PlayStation audience that's watching a stream like a State of Play or a PlayStation Showcase. That I just thought the reveal of that game was handled so poorly. Hopefully we get some actual gameplay of the title and we can find some reason to actually be excited about the game, because right now, I mean, it's on whoever greenlit that initial trailer because that was terrible, but we need some actual details and some information to sink our teeth into when it comes to Concord. And you know, PlayStation does need more multiplayer titles. The majority of their first party releases are single player oriented games, which people love, but more multiplayer titles isn't a bad thing. I would have loved it if we just could have gotten a Killzone 2 remaster, as I've said over and over again, but you know, they want to go the live service route, they want to monetize games for years and years. I understand why they're going this direction, but hopefully we just get some content from Concord that makes us look at it and be like, wow, that's a game I'm actually interested in. But for now, all we can really do is speculate on it. Next up, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and based on the fact that this State of Play is on January the 31st, Final Fantasy VII Day, I could see a potential stealth release of a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo. Keep in mind that Final Fantasy VII Remake, ahead of its release back in March of 2020, it did get a demo release, so I wouldn't see why they wouldn't release a demo for Rebirth as well. I think people would be incredibly excited by that, and if you want to build some goodwill right off the State of Play, announcing it's going to be released tonight, which, by the way, hasn't been something atypical for Square Enix. They just did that with the Final Fantasy 16 DLC that dropped. They released it that that night. So them doing it again, coming back at it with FF7 Rebirth and the demo, makes a lot of sense to me. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is my most anticipated game of the year. I'm pretty comfortable in saying that. Look, there's a lot of exciting games that look to be dropping in 2024, but I love Final Fantasy VII Remake. I love the fact that they changed the story because, as I've said repeatedly in previous videos, either we're going to get a compelling twist to Final Fantasy VII's narrative, or it's going to be an absolute train wreck and it's going to be entertaining. Either way, the gameplay is going to be great. Visually, it's a stunning game, and now you're really getting into the heart of the story of Final Fantasy VII. You're getting these more open areas to explore. It's gonna have a sizable amount of content. Good luck getting that platinum trophy because that's gonna be a sizable undertaking as well, but incredibly excited about the game. I imagine we're gonna get a new trailer, and I wouldn't be all too surprised if we get that demo released as well, maybe by the end of the day on January 31st. Next up, Metro looks to be making the foray into VR with Metro VR. Excited about the possibility of it, not crazy about Metro getting a new entry in VR only. Look, it's a $500 piece of equipment. A lot of people can't afford it. A lot of people don't see the value in it, but how do you add value to a platform like that? Oh, you release some compelling games from a compelling franchises, long-running franchise. Metro would be exactly that. It's kind of a double-edged sword where if you release a game like Metro VR exclusively for PlayStation VR, people are going to be upset, but if you don't release anything compelling for PlayStation VR 2, people are going to be upset if they bought the $500 piece of hardware and it's just collecting dust. You can't really win either way. I'm just interested in seeing what Metro can do in VR because that could be a very, very remarkable experience. Atmosphere-wise, Metro is incredible, and having that realized in VR could be pretty cool. Death Stranding 2 is rumored to be there as well. Rumored to be titled Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. We'll see more about it and hopefully hear more about it. I don't think that game's coming out in 2024. More likely to be a 2025 title, but Death Stranding 1 I thought was a very, very unique experience that everybody should at least give a chance to. I understand it's not for everybody in the sense that it's not a game everybody's going to get into, but I thought it was a rather interesting game and narratively very, very compelling. So Death Stranding 2, excited to hear more on that. Judas is a game that is being rumbled, coming from creators of BioShock. A brand new IP said to be a narrative FPS. We'll potentially hear more about that, and interested in a new IP that's a narrative FPS. I mean, BioShock was fantastic, and we'll see if that ultimately does come to fruition. We've got Silent Hill 2, the remake. There's rumblings that this might come out a lot sooner than people expect. I would have to think that Silent Hill 2, the remake, is going to be a late 2024 game. Some people are saying it's going to be early 2024, at the very least, maybe in that first half. I don't know why we're trying to get more games out by March. At the very least, April, May makes more sense for Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is an incredibly iconic game, so whenever it comes out, it's going to do fairly well. But you just look at the lineup for the next couple of months, and it's pretty jam-packed with a lot of big releases. I would save Silent Hill 2 until April, May at the earliest. And lastly, Until Dawn is rumored to be getting a PlayStation 5 and PC remaster. I liked Until Dawn. I do think if they price it at $60, that would be absolutely egregious. But at a price point that's decent, 30 to 40 bucks, I do think it'll be worthwhile to check out. It is one of those games that's super narrative driven and might not be for everyone, but a lot of games like that have been doing well. And Until Dawn, back when it came out in 2015, probably wasn't a game worth $60, but it was a pretty enjoyable experience. That's cheesy horror style of narrative, and I enjoyed it for what it was, and seeing it get a PS5 remaster and a PC port, that would be pretty cool, all things considered. Those are just 10 games. Again, Stellar Blade, Rise of the Ronin confirmed, the other 8 titles rumored but very likely. We're supposed to get north of 15 games, but not all of those games are going to be brand new reveals, and they might be smaller games. I would be shocked if they don't give a mention to Helldivers 2. That's a game that deserves a little bit of a promotional push. Pacific Drive, game looks great, deserves a little bit of a promotional push, and is a PlayStation 5 console exclusive, so makes sense on that end as well. But that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.